Let these be guidestones to an age of reason. I'm Mells Bells, and this is Strangeful Things.
Sheltering in place is not advised, as your survival cannot be ensured in that scenario.
Love has practically caused me to just get you destroyed.
Unsolved, unresolved, and super complicated.
Strangeful Things.
Hey everyone, it's Mells, and I'm here with Shooey and Acadia, and we are going to tell you the story of the Georgia Guidestones. But before we do that, I want to tell y'all that I am coming to you from my new studio that does not have the winds of hell blowing through it at 90 miles an hour.
I miss the winds of hell.
The winds of hell are okay 1 month out of the year. The other 11 months, it's very annoying.
Fair enough.
And I'll let you guess which month it is that is perfectly okay to hear that.
Poor October.
Oh.
Why can't it be Halloween?
So how are y'all doing?
I guess good.
That sounds great.
You know, sitting in the house, not doing anything.
Well, it sounds like you're alive. That's always a plus.
Yeah, I'll take it.
There are.
Shooey?
I am doing well, thank you. Everything's all good here. Just excited to be with y'all again.
Yeah, fine. Got to show me up.
Hey.
It's been a while without you, Mells, and it just hasn't been the same.
I know. Thank you. I'm so glad to be back. I've missed it very, very much. So, okay. Well, now I want to tell y'all that this is a story I have been wanting to do because it's a place I've actually been to. So, like, between this and the Winchester House, I am the goddamn field agent for the show, it feels like.
What? I've been to Lake Ronkonkoma.
Okay, but see, that doesn't count because you live there, Shooey.
I do not live in Lake Ronkonkoma. I live in Ronkonkoma. It happens to be the next town over.
Okay, all right. Well, here, let me clarify. What I mean are actual trips to strangeful locations. Does that?
right.
Yeah, maybe that clears it up a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to have to rule in Mel's favor on this one.
Why, thank you. Everyone, this is the first time, right? You're hearing an exclusive right here. Well, anyway, I've been to the Guidestones a few times, but I don't have any pictures to share with y'all because it was in the age of disposable cameras, and those pics are more than likely in a box, like in my parents' closet way back home. So I'm sorry.
Also, this is a podcast, so that's not really a factor.
Okay, well, I meant for the Instagram, you sucker. Ugh. And that's at Strangeful Things on Insta for all you who don't follow us, which is most of y'all. So come on now.
Mm-hmm. And the Patreon is patreon.com/strangeful if you want to help us get enough money to apparently buy a fucking scanner for Mel's mom so she can scan the pictures of the Georgia Guidestones and send them to us. But seriously, thank everyone who does support us. And if any of you get a hankering, then we certainly won't be mad if you check it out.
No, we won't. And thanks to everyone who do support us. It's very nice. Very nice. Well, let me give you the basics of the story of what lies at 1031 Guidestones Road, Elberton, Georgia, 30635. Okay? Because the why, in my opinion, is kind of way more interesting than the what. So Elberton is about 2 hours northeast of Atlanta. It's about 45 minutes away from Athens. Go Dogs! But other than that, there's nothing else of note really near Elberton. In fact, why these Guidestones were put there is one of the things people endlessly debate. Now, in 1979, this guy under the pseudonym of Robert C. Christian went to the Elberton Granite Finishing Company and told them he was looking to make a monument that would be, quote, multifunctional from a group of loyal Americans, end quote. So whatever that means, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Like, these folks thought he was super crazy, so they overpriced the granite significantly, thinking it would scare him off from the quest. But, you know, I'm going to pull an Acadia here. Wrongo bongo.
Ha ha!
Because guess what? He accepted their price, then purchased the land to build the stones. And the stones are about 19 feet tall, and there are a bunch of other measurements too, but who gives a shit? This is a podcast, and you aren't writing it down, right?
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, according to accounts, he claimed this monument would withstand Armageddon and would be a calendar, clock, and compass. So the 3 C's, remember that, and say it 3 times fast. So this guy was like a mix between Nostradamus and whoever wrote the Bible. And we'll get to that in a minute. The land that Christian bought was farmland from a Mr. Wayne Mullenix. And in exchange for the property, Wayne's family was given free cattle rain around the stones, which in a way makes it a little more mystical. I mean, can you imagine visiting this and they're just a bunch of like gorgeous cows roaming around, and the cow patties, I mean, mwah, they're to die for.
What the hell is a gorgeous cow? If it's not one that's like wearing fishnet stockings and standing up like a person and batting their eyelashes, then I don't know.
I mean, I would say the most gorgeous cow I've ever seen are what we would consider beef cows because they have just the most beautiful hair.
Now I'm picturing them with big wigs on.
Like Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
That's what them Georgia cows are good for.
Also, I never noticed it before, but that Mullinex sounds like a cereal. Like a super
flax?
healthy one, you know what I mean?
Like flaxseed?
Yeah. Like, oh, well, I'm sorry. We only eat Mullinex in our house. And we shit like kings.
Oh, hey. Human patties, cow patties,
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
All right, so let me get this straight. Some guy shows up with a fake name, says he wants to buy a bunch of granite, and gets ripped off. So why did he do it there?
Well, that area is known for its granite quarries.
Yeah, but this is 1980. This isn't like the 1600s. They had trucks. They could have made it there and brought it anywhere.
Yeah. And how'd he pay for it? Cash? That seems fishy as shit. Maybe they were drug dealers.
Well, okay, well, Shooey, I already told you the location is a point of debate. And as for the money... Yeah. And as for the money, Christian had a banker that acted as his agent. His agent's name was Wyatt Martin, and he has never divulged the name of the group that commissioned these things, this monument. And he told CNN when asked about the identity, he told me, if you were to tell who put the money up for this, it wouldn't be a mystery anymore, and no one would come and read it. That had to be part of the attraction, to get people to come and read his 10 rules that he came up with. So it stayed a secret. They made the monument, and it was revealed in March of 1980 to about 100 to 400 people. The biggest reveal that you've ever seen, okay? That was terrible. But anyway, now to give you some scale and to question the marketing skills of the people involved, Elberton currently has about 4,600 residents. So this was a flop even 40 years ago. Now, remember how I mentioned R.C. Christian was like a cross between Nostradamus and whoever wrote the Bible?
You meaning God?
That's because... Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Did God tell King James?
Yes.
Like, that's the version I know, and I don't know if that's, like, the right version or if there even is
That's
one.
the hotel version, so it must be right.
There we go.
Exactly.
There we go. Well, that's because the Guidestones contain what appear to be hippy-dippy commandments, and there are, big surprise, 10 of them, and they are as follows. And just for reference, we'll discuss them after we read them.
Maintain humanity under 500 million in balance with nature.
Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity.
Unite humanity with a living new language.
Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason.
Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts.
Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court.
Avoid petty laws and useless officials.
Balance personal rights with social duties.
Duty.
Prize truth Acadia. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite.
Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature.
Oh, so nice they said it twice,
Yeah.
huh?
These are
All right,
dumb.
so what do y'all think about these?
Dumb.
Ugh.
I want to punch some of them.
Yeah.
Give him a big chop.
We'll get into that. Yeah. There's definitely some punchable shit going on here, that's for sure.
But we're going to do them one at a time, right? So this is just general.
Yeah. Just like in your first review of them, what I'm getting from you, Acadia, is you want to punch some of them.
Yep.
Shooey?
Yeah.
You want to punch them as well?
Yeah, I'd like to give him a good chop.
Okay. I'm gonna round out with the third vote on this that they are punchable. All right.
All right.
Well, before we get to the meat of the message, let me give you some cool info on the other stuff the stones do. So these stones are like a Swiss Army knife, and physically they're impressive. Again, they're about 19 feet tall. They consist of 4 main slabs, a middle, and a capstone up top. So they make a star shape, okay?
All right.
The 4 outer stones are placed to mark the limits of the lunar declination cycle, which is, as far as I can tell, when the moon is highest in the sky. Like, if you were throwing something up in the air, it would be the second that it pauses before it starts to come back down,
Got it.
right?
Yep.
And
Makes
this
sense.
cycle... Yeah, and this cycle is marked by other ancient sites across the world, so it is apparently pretty significant.
Yeah, but ancient sites are always good at that shit because they, like, after it got dark, but when they weren't fucking or sleeping, all they had to do was look at the sky because there was nothing else to look at.
Oh, my word. Well, I mean, very true, Acadia. That's a wonderful observation.
That's my anthropological minute.
Well, remember how I said the 3 C's earlier? Well, there is a hole drilled in through the middle of the center stone, which when you look
course
through
there
we're not going to talk about glory holes. That's just not going to happen. Now, when you look through it, it shows you the North Star, which that's what she said, I guess, as well. I guess stay focused here. Which is pretty much fixed in the sky. So there's your compass.
I bet there are people who look at it from like the wrong end and they're constantly mad. Like, why do I only see the ground?
North Star my ass.
This is bullshit.
This is so wrong. I got
This
chipped.
this Christian guy was full of shit. Now, the middle capstone also has a slot carved in it through which you can see the sun's solstices and equinoxes. But if you look through them the other 361 days a year, you can't see shit. And the coolest part to me is, of course, the little hole, right? Because it's like a butt. Y'all thought y'all were going to get through an episode without a butt. I hope you've missed that.
Yes, we were butt free for like weeks.
Not no more, but the butt's back in the house.
That's right.
Oh, anyway, at noon every day, sunlight shines through the hole and marks out what day it is. So there's your calendar, all right?
So where's the clock you talked about?
I don't know. I think it's the moon. Hey, listen, I'm not taking follow-up questions, okay? The point is
Nice.
that there was a fuck ton of planning put into the design and building of these things. When the thing was commissioned, Christian gave them a scale model and 10 pages of specifications. That's, God, like imagine how precise the angle on the friggin' noontime hole had to be.
Yeah, no
and these
shit.
are big pieces of granite. So if you make a mistake, I mean, you can't just shake it off like Tay Swift or like a Etch-a-Sketch. Is that what the cool kids say these days? Like
Yes.
There's no undo.
Tay Swizzle Benizzle? Is that her
Yeah.
name now?
You can't control Z a granite. Slab.
No, you can't. It's too bad. Well, in fact, as we'll see later, there might be a mistake in there, or was it done on purpose and nobody knows?
Well, I heard that it took them 20 years to plan out the whole thing.
Where did you
really?
hear that? You were
On the-
Where are you that they were talking about the Guidestones?
That's the word on the street. I was I was out there graving it up, hitting the pavement.
Oh, yeah. What? Oh, really? What were you like in the barber shop, like getting your hair done? And you're like, I heard it took 20 years to plan it.
That's
out.
right.
And they're like, what is this crazy man talking about? Like, you gave no preface to it whatsoever.
Sir,
You're
you
just
need to
yelling,
leave.
20 years.
Sir, you need to go.
Or you think you're at the barber shop, like, sir, this is the McDonald's. May I help you? Okay, well, back to the text. There are 4 stones, and each has 2 sides, so each one has the commandment things written in a different language, okay? And these languages are Arabic, Chinese, English, Hebrew, Hindi, Russian, Spanish, and Swahili. And these are living languages, which means they are being spoken today, but nobody really knows why they were chosen. Do y'all have any thoughts on why they may have chosen those?
I have a little bit of a theory that
Okay.
the one that fucks it up is Spanish. To me, I thought it might be like they're all languages that use completely different letters. You know what I mean? Like Russian letters are all like backwards K's and shit like that, and Hindi aren't, Roman letters and that kind of shit. But I don't know if that's it, because Spanish fucks it up. Because I don't think the little Enye is enough to make it, a whole
Unique.
different alphabet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, my
Right.
thought was that it was the most popular languages in the world, but then that gets screwed up because of Hebrew and Swahili, unless they figured they'd cover all of Africa with the one language they knew from Africa, which I guess was Swahili. And they just wanted to make sure that, Jewish people weren't ignored, so they covered Hebrew. But yeah, I don't have
Oh,
anything
that's
that fits
smart.
all the way either.
Nice. Okay.
Look at
I'll
that.
give
We
you one.
brought theories. We wouldn't leave you hanging, Mells.
Right, Mells.
I know.
We always
thank
got
you.
something.
Thank you. Man, I'm so proud of you too right now. I could cry.
That's right.
Well, off to the side, there is a tablet, of course, that explains things. And the explanation is written in, guess what? 4 languages, okay? 4 more different languages.
All right.
There's ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, Babylonian cuneiform. I always love to say that word for some reason. I don't know why. Classical Greek and Sanskrit. That reminds me of anchovies. But anywho, it says...
Say it in Sanskrit, you fucker.
Oh, I was like, who's he yelling at?
Say it in Sanskrit. I want to hear you.
I don't know Sanskrit, man. I only learned classical Latin, so I don't even know Greek.
Well, shit, Shooey, what good are you for all this episode then?
I know.
Fine.
Now, leave
All
him
right.
alone. Shooey, continue.
Thank you. The Georgia Guidestones, center cluster erected March 22nd, 1980. Then below there is a square, and inside that it says, "Let these be guidestones to an age of reason." And around the 4 sides of the square are the other languages Mel's mentioned. Then on the left, which I'm sure you can all visualize perfectly, it says, astronomic features. 1, channel through stone indicates celestial pole. 2, horizontal slot indicates annual travel of sun. 3, sunbeam through capstone marks noontime throughout the year.
Boom, there's your clock. Suck it.
Yeah, but you said that was the calendar.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, rude, because you're interrupting my suck it. Secondly, I think I've already stated this, but there's no follow-up questions. Oh, Shooey, you can go on now.
Fine.
Okay, thank you. Author R.C. Christian a pseudonym?
Whoa, there's your typo.
Dun, dun, dun.
So what do you think of that? Because for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why there would be an N and not an M there.
Well, I heard on the street.
Again?
Yes.
A lot of talk of Guidestones.
I told you, I did a lot of research. Like when they made old cathedrals and stuff like that, they said only God is perfect, so we have to put a mistake in our cathedral or whatever like that because we can't make like we're perfect. So maybe they put it in on purpose so that it wouldn't be perfect.
Really?
Yep.
I kind of dig that, though.
Well, I read that by putting an N at the end of pseudonym instead of the M, it creates an anagram to the words
Ooh.
untarnished conspiracy. So I don't know that means anything. It could just be the fact that there are a bunch of letters that happen to make shit up, but it does spell out untarnished conspiracy with those letters.
I would have been fine with
Whoa, I am
tarnished.
mind
Untarnished conspiracy.
Tarnished conspiracy?
That's like when you get called out in class and you haven't been paying attention. Tarnished conspiracy. Yeah.
All right, so then it says, sponsors a small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. Time capsule, placed 6 feet below this spot on blank to be opened on blank. And I don't mean there's the word blank there twice. There's actually a blank space for something a time that apparently never came or hasn't come.
So seriously, they spent 20 years planning out the stones and they couldn't spend a couple months getting a bunch of fucking third graders to put together a time capsule?
I mean, especially in that area of Georgia, there are plenty of things they could have thrown in there. Like a UGA jersey, for example.
A fucking frog.
A frog. Yes, Acadia, a frog. Georgia's the only place.
I don't know what do third graders have in their pockets? Frogs and
have
matchboxes
lint.
and shit. I don't know. Yeah, there you go.
This is the lint from Little Mells' pocket, third grade. But lint is nothing but dust, and when you open it several years later, there's nothing there. Well, one last feature to discuss is the 666 cube. The cube is called that because it is 6 inches on each side.
And because of the devil.
Well, now wait. We haven't said anything about the devil yet, okay? Back to the cube. The cube is the cornerstone of the northeast column located at the top. I'm going to quiz you on this later, okay?
I'm taking
Jesus
notes.
Christ.
Okay, just kidding. I would never do that. The OC original cube was blank on all visible sides. That's not to say there was anything on the non-visible sides. We just don't know. Now, I said original cube. Did you catch that?
I did. I caught it. I was right on top of that shit.
Teacher's pet.
Okay, from your notes?
No, because I was paying attention.
Oh, okay. So
Because I'm the good one.
detention.
Jerk.
Detention. I'm giving you detention anyway. Brown noser. Well, I said original because in 2009, the first or the original cube disappeared.
Huh.
There are multiple stories as to who did it. Some say it was removed by the person in charge of the Guidestones, but the official story was that it was stolen by vandals.
You mean like the barbarians who raided the room in Empire?
No, not those vandals. More like punk fucking kids. All right? Knuckleheads. What else do I like to call them? Thundercats. All right?
Thundercats.
It was recovered in 2013 when William Jeremy Ellis, a conspiracy enthusiast, not nut. All right? We're not gonna use that term.
No labels.
Yeah, but he has all three names, so that means he's probably a nut.
No labels. Not going to label here, okay? But he tried to return it. He said he took it because he wanted a piece of the monument, but it was weighing too much on him to keep it. Oh, that tender heart. Oh. Well, he was charged with felony theft amongst other things, so that's what you get.
Hells yeah.
And in 2014, the cube, hells yeah, that's right. In 2014, the cube was replaced, and this new cube had engravings on all sides like a die.
On opposite sides, the top and the bottom were JAM, jam, and MM. Around the four sides were the numbers 8, 16, 20, 14. And the 20 and the 14 were visible.
Now, this really got the conspiracy folks' panties in a bunch.
It sure did. In researching this, there are literally hundreds of theories about what the numbers and letters mean. Numerologists and cryptographers are all over the place looking for meanings and conspiracies. Numerologists that combine the numbers in every conceivable way to have them mean anything, like potential dates of the dawn of the age of reason or the apocalypse, to specific biblical verses, to combining them to somehow create, the number 666. They're everywhere. People have also decoded the letters to mean anything from the MM meaning Master Mason, trying to tie in Masons and Templars to all this crap. And then I saw explanations of the JAM to mean stuff like Judici Anno Mundi, which is Roman for judgment of the world.
Since I don't buy into any of that hokum, that's right, I said hokum.
Hokum.
I looked some shit up and found the explanation to be much simpler for all that cryptic shit on the cube. It turns out that Jennifer Ann Massanelli, Jam, and Michael Massanelli, were married at the Guidestone site on August 16th, 2014. And Michael commissioned the cube because it would be a neat remembrance of his wedding, and there was nothing in that corner spot at the time. And that's it. There you have it.
So no big Mason conspiracy predicting the end of days.
Nope. It was just two jerks that got married at a weirdo fucking thing with a bunch of cows wandering around it.
All right, well, never mind then. I'm glad I fucking looked at the internet for hours.
Hey, Shooey, your work is greatly appreciated, okay?
Oh, thanks.
Ha ha, you wasted your time.
Hey, you two play nice in the sandbox, all right?
I could be wasting my time doing much better things.
Well,
Fair.
Shooey, thanks for that little detour. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Now, to wrap up our journey into the cube, on September 14th, 2014, Mark Clamp, the person who takes care of the stones for the county, destroyed it.
He clamped
Now,
it.
why he had permission to do this, we do not know, but he did it.
I guess because it never should have been there in the first place, right?
Perhaps you are correct. Yes. However, he did it in front of another crowd of a few hundred people. He even handed out chips from the crushed stone to anyone who asked. And I couldn't find anything in my research about whether that cube was replaced by anything, but I'll let y'all know after I go back, okay, when travel is safe again.
So you're telling me the clamp man got a better turnout for him crushing the cube than they got for the whole erection of the Guidestones?
Yes.
Well, it's a different time, they had social media and stuff. Maybe they were looking at, they posted something.
That's true.
Do you know what I think?
Put it up on his Twitter.
I think that, because I know this area fairly well, all right? My thought is this, we kind of talked about it in the beginning, is people didn't want this man doing this, right? So he had a very low, although to him it was probably the biggest turnout that he'd ever seen.
Right.
But there was a low turnout for this. And if that train of thought continues into, 2014, then people would show up to maybe see it be crushed. And the people that live around there may not view it as something that, attracts tourists and things like that. They might just be like, ugh, we're so tired of hearing about the Georgia Guidestones. I'm going to watch this man crush it up and I want to get a piece of it.
That's probably right.
That's my thought anyway.
I like it.
All right. Well, now, before we get into the messages, let's hear what some other people have said. According to Wired magazine, hippy-dippy expert Yoko Ono described these Guidestones as a stirring call to rational thinking. That was the best Yoko I got, right?
Well, I thought that was Yoko.
That was a beautiful Yoko. Yeah, I thought we got her.
Oh, it was. Shit. Okay. Yoko, thank you for your time. All right. While others claim it's the Antichrist commandments, rock and roll. Like, I mean, I can go from Yoko to Ozzy Osbourne like nobody's business.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, what a transition.
Well, on this subject, I'll tell you the story of how my own mother would never let me go visit the stones because she claimed they were, like, haunted, and she did believe it was, like, the devil's playground, okay?
Jesus.
But I snuck out there being so rebellious when I was in high school with my then boyfriend. Now, why would someone think these would be the Antichrist commandments? I mean, when I read them, I don't really necessarily get Antichrist. I get more of a tree hugger vibe, and they want some sort of balance in nature and man, I guess, after maybe the end of the world. I'm not really sure, but I just don't really get any type of nefarious feel from it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But many believe Christian belonged to a Luciferian cult, and the inscriptions are a foreshadowing of New World Order and World War III. Thus, the stones are a hit with conspiracy theorists.
All right. Can I go on a little rant about the New World Order? Because I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for
All
it,
right.
brother.
So the New World Order already happened, because if you're going to have a big fucking movement that's going to change the world, you don't tell everybody about it ahead of time. You just do it and then tell them that it already happened. So it was actually the Age of Reason. It was the Enlightenment. It was when everyone said, well, why do we have all these fucking kings around here when we can, I mean, don't get me wrong, we're still going to make sure the rich people are in charge of everything. But they'll be rich civilians.
we don't want to change things too much.
Yeah, no, let's not go crazy. But we're going to vote and shit like that, and we're not going to get ruled by kings and everything else that Schoolhouse Rock said. That's why it says Novus Ordo Seclorum on the fucking dollar. It's New Order for the Ages. We're already in it, you fucking dinks. Not you guys.
I honestly had never thought about that.
I just hope, like, to what Mells was saying, that, I wasn't sure if it was, like, after the World War III or whatever. Well, I hope it would be after, because if we're going to get from 7 billion down to 500 million, I hope it's not like a conscious decision to do that.
Yeah, right? It's like the suicide booths in Futurama.
Exactly.
Oh, my word. Terrible. Oh. Well, some suggest the inscriptions reek of the teachings of Rosecrucians, and that they commissioned the stones. Now, a little aside on Rosecrucians, they are a spiritual and cultural movement from Europe, early 17th century. The order is built on the esoteric truth of ancient past and provides insight into the spiritual realm and physical universe. Now, people think this because Robert C. Christian seems to be another name for Rose Cross Christian, the founder of this group. Yeah, weird, huh? I mean, when you lay it out like that, maybe they do seem like they're some type of homage to this group.
Yeah, that does kind of sound feasible.
It sounds like another crazy coincidence to me.
Yeah. There's so many with this story. It's just like...
Yeah.
There's so many twists and turns and nooks and crannies to get lost in.
Well, I mean, I think it's just people really want there to be more meaning into stuff. And apparently,
right,
like, just take religion in general. The longer people have believed something, the more important people think it is. Mm-hmm. So, ascribing stuff to some really old sect or whatever like that gives it more credibility, I guess, to some people.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Well, people also think it's post-apocalyptic instructions on how to live life after the end of times. Now, who would be left after an apocalypse? I've always heard just Cher and roaches, and I don't think you're going to tell either one of those how to live their life.
I think the entire population of Elberton, Georgia would also be on that list.
That's true. They are the Guidestone chosen ones, right?
Guidestones are like a shield.
Yeah, I I don't really think they're a class 1 nuclear target, like that they're going to waste a bomb on them.
We're going to bomb New York, L.A., and Elberton.
Yeah.
Well, there used to be a nuclear power plant not very far from Elberton, actually. So, I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, well, all right. That may have changed
I
it.
don't know. Maybe we'll dive into that another time, the nuclear power plant.
Nice.
But for now, let's get to the text. And do y'all want to do it like one at a time?
Yeah, we might as well.
Oh, totally. Yeah, because like some are important and some, not so much.
I agree 100%. All right. So number 1, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So my take on that was a big Thanos.
Yeah. They right? But he would have had to been like, and snap a lot to get it down to 500 million.
I'm going to keep clicking.
Yeah, he would have had to be in a doo-wop band.
Yeah, basically.
All right. No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that, honestly, the whole idea behind this, 500 million people could comfortably fit in just North America, which would leave the rest of the world to be what, like a national park?
Right. Like, how do you decide how to split all that up? Like, obviously, it would have to be like Star Trek or something where the world is just one country. Like, you couldn't do multiple countries, because then how would everybody agree on, like, all right, yeah, I'm Denmark, I'm going to get 7 people, you know?
Yeah, but they say later on, protect nations, so they figure there's going to be at least 2.
Oh my.
Maybe like 1 per continent or something.
Well, maybe North America or America would just be split in half. I don't know.
Yeah, right?
2 nations. All right. Well, speaking of 2, number 2, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. This is the first punchable one, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's really...
Oh, yeah, this is eugenics aplenty.
Yeah.
Yeah. No bueno.
Disgusting. We'll move on from that one.
Yeah, we don't like that one.
Number
Yeah, I don't
3.
really see... I mean, I guess if they were trying to say, once you're down to 500 million, like, try to mix everything up, but it doesn't really matter, because then you're just trying to blend everything into one. Nah. I don't think it there's... I was trying to figure out a way that it's not gross, and there's just not one.
No.
No, because you got to work the diversity into the cutting down to 500 million, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You got to make sure that you get a sampling of everybody.
Plus, you can only take people that speak one of those 8 languages, or else nobody will know what the fuck to do.
What the hell's going on?
That is true.
Unless they got one of those 4 ancient languages. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless one phone survives with Google Translate on it.
Yeah, right? I speak cuneiform. I'll tell everyone what to do.
I want to meet this person.
Yeah, right?
Yes. All right. Number 3, unite humanity with a living new language.
They tried that.
Why do they need a new one?
Esperanto.
Esperanto.
Okay, tell me about this, because I only know very little, and it's very intriguing to me.
They decided, it was a long time ago, too, that they started it. They were like, it's dumb that we have all different languages. Let's just have one. And they invented this one called Esperanto. And it's like a whole language. Like, they made it, they made it for real. It just didn't really catch on with anybody.
Well, they made Klingon a language, too, and that didn't...
There is a book on how to speak Klingon, though.
Well, there's no books on how to speak Esperanto, I don't think.
Well, they did make a movie, and William Shatner was in it.
And they speak nothing but Esperanto?
That was all in Esperanto.
Really?
Yep. Came out in the 60s.
And what does this language sound like? Do you know, or... I bet you can't give me a sampling.
I think it sounds kind of Latin-y.
Okay.
Acadia, do you know any Esperanto? You're a man of 1,000 languages.
No, I'm trying to see if... Wait, I'll translate... Bon venant a la bieno in Esperanto means welcome to the farm in English.
Wow. I thought that was for sure going to be something about beans. I don't know why. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk. Well, that was very interesting.
Oh, wait, actually, it makes sense. Mi mortigis Ulan means I killed a guy.
That makes no sense. I don't know what you think makes sense about that.
Well, mortis is death in Latin, so I guess they kind of made it like a Romance language.
Oh, okay, like rigor mortis.
Yeah, rigor mortis.
Yeah, I think they ripped off a lot of Latin.
Oh, okay, all right.
See, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I'll take that back. I like it. Okay. So number 4, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. I don't even know what that means.
It means be a fucking killjoy and don't have any rage killings or eloping or anything like that.
No eloping?
Nope. It says rule passion with tempered reason, which means everybody's got to count to 10 before they do something stupid.
Take the passion out of it.
Shit.
That means don't be passionate.
Don't you dare.
Well, the faith thing could be good because of all the crazy shit people have done for religion. So maybe if they had some tempered reason, there wouldn't have been the Crusades.
True. Then you have just people that have eloped. I mean, who does that? Anyway, 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Nah.
Ooh.
It sounds good at the high level, but like who fair to whom?
Exactly.
That's a hot.
Yeah.
That's a hot take for the Guidestones. Have fair courts.
It's a very hot take. Yeah. And we'll leave it where it's at. So 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. We kind of do that already, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and it works swimmingly.
Yeah, well, again. So basically just rewriting what we do.
People are doing their best. If everybody spoke Esperanto, then not everybody in the UN would need headphones all the time, so things would be better.
Hey, there you go, silver lining. I'm going to say we vote for this to be the new language. All right, 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials. Well, shit,
Nah.
nobody be left.
Yeah, but this one, everyone thinks a law is petty until it affects them.
Well, that's true.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, every law and official we have is because somebody got fucked over at one point and someone said... It's like when they invented baseball. Like, you could just tell when someone hit the ball and it went behind him, somebody went, wait, that's not fair. You can't run.
Yeah.
Like, that's how laws get made. Like, somebody got dicked over and they're like, well, we shouldn't have this happen again. That seems bad.
That's true. Wow. I like that. That's reasonable. Well, number 8, balance personal rights with social duties. There's your duties again.
This one I like because, especially living in the time of COVID, people could use a little more balancing their personal rights with their social duties.
That's true.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Amen, Shooey.
Hallelujah.
Well said.
That's a good job.
Hallelujah. Number 9, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Another one that went way over my head. I mean, apparently I am not as in touch with that part of me that I originally thought I was.
This is some wishy-washy shit, though, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's... prize is not a verb that people really know how to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's... Oh, yes, I'm going to prize this.
Well, exactly, right. The word I think would be like cherish, right? Is that what that's supposed to mean?
Yeah, or revere or something like that.
So isn't that kind of what society does now with beautiful
Well,
people?
they worship them. Yeah.
You know it.
Number 10, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. Which I think if we had done this, previously, perhaps we wouldn't be living in global warming. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, right? I mean, if you do number 1, that kind of is cutting out the cancer, I feel like.
That's true.
Yeah, I think if you wipe out, 85% of the population, you'll probably, leave some room for nature at that point.
I mean, yeah, trees might grow. You might be able to breathe the air.
It'd be like that show, Life After People.
I don't know that show.
Oh, you've never... Oh,
I've never watched that.
That's really good.
it's amazing. It's like, oh, well, what would happen to, like, Philadelphia if there weren't people in it? And it goes like, 20 years after people, 100 years, 1,000 years. It's really neat.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna have to check this out. I like it.
It was on like History Channel or Learning Channel or, well, TLC. They don't call it, and they rightfully don't call it the Learning Channel anymore.
Whoa!
That you want to learn about fucked up people.
I thought that stood for the Love Channel.
Ah!
Because they have things like, isn't that where they air like Life After Lockup and like 90 Day Fiance?
Yeah, that started as the Learning Channel.
Wow. Okay.
They've
Big flex.
yeah, they veered a little to the right at some point.
Yeah, that L is interchangeable at this point, I think. Well, now, I must also say that in 2008 and 2014, the stones were vandalized. In 2008, someone took paint and graffitied the stones, so some more punk-ass kids.
Freaking punk.
They wrote, Death to the New World Order and I Am Isis, Goddess of Love. And, you know, Shooey, you did some enlightening with me the other day on exactly who the Goddess of Love really is. And I would love for you to share it. Tell me about the goddesses, because I think that this will prove.
I'm going to tell you about some goddesses.
Yeah, this will prove what kind of dumbasses were graffitiing these things.
Exactly. So first, Isis is not the goddess of love. Isis is the goddess of kingship, magic and wisdom, and the sky. So she's goddess of a lot of things in Egyptian culture, but none of them were love. The goddess of love was Hathor, which is a beautiful name. I could see how that would be the love
Hathor.
one. But Hathor was the goddess of love.
Man, wow. So, AKA, you big dummies. God. I mean, if you're going to take the time to graffiti something, make sure you put the right shit on there, all right?
Do your homework. Do your freaking homework.
Right. No regrets.
No
Not
regrets.
Even an A. Okay, or an E, whatever. This is why I'm not a spelling bee champion here. Well, I hope you enjoyed a little trip into my neck of the woods. You can find me on Twitter at MellsBells84 and Instagram at superficialmells. Shooey's Twitter and Insta are at ShooeyTime, and that's with an E, so Shooey Time. Acadia is at Acadia on Twitter, and you can follow the show as well at Strangeful Pod.
And if you have a minute, or you want to, well, no, I guess just rate and review us wherever you listen to the show from, because it'll actually help more people find us. And other than determining that the Georgia Guidestones were a big waste of time and money, is that the general consensus? Yeah. Well, all right then.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they mean something to whoever made them, but for regular folk, I don't see.
Yeah, but we don't even know who that fool is.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
So
It's like someone that steals like a fancy piece of art from a museum and just keeps it in their house so no one else gets to see it.
Exactly.
so ridiculous.
Dick.
Yeah.
Sitting there twirling his mustache like a dingus. All right.
Snap. Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Yeah,
See?
Have a great week. I guess that's it then, right?
Yeah.
That is it.
All right. Have a great week, everybody.
Hey, count your blessings.
Shooey out.
Bye-bye.